গুড মর্নিং ফ্রেন্ডস, কেমন আছো তোমরা সবাই? আশা করি খুব ভালো আছো আর আমরাও খুব ভালো আছি। অ্যান্ড ওয়েলকাম ব্যাক টু মাই চ্যানেল ওপেন উইন্ডোজ। আর ওপেন উইন্ডোজে আজকে তোমাদের সব বাইককে স্বাগত। আর আজকে আমি আর অভি ঘুরতে এসেছি একটা জায়গায়, আর জায়গাটা তোমাদেরকে ঘুরিয়ে ঘুরিয়ে দেখাবো। জায়গাটার নাম হচ্ছে মিস্ট্রি স্পট। আমি দেখে বললাম, এই যে মিস্ট্রি স্পট, এখানে চারিদিকে শুধু মিস্ট্রি স্পট। জায়গাটা আমি ঘুরিয়ে তোমাদের দেখাবো। আর জায়গাটা একদমই খুব মিস্টেরিয়াস, আর আশা করি ভেতরে গিয়েও খুব মজা হবে। আর আমার ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডে দেখতে পাচ্ছ এখানে এদের এন্ট্রান্স, আমরা এখান দিয়ে যাব। আর চলো তাহলে দেরি না করে যাই, ঘুরে আসি মিস্ট্রি স্পটে আর তোমাদের সাথে শেয়ার করব। আর অবশ্যই জানিও তোমাদের কেমন লাগবে। চলো দেখে নাও।
In 1/2 mile, arrive at 465 Mystery Spot Road on the left. রাস্তাটা দেখেই বুঝতে পারলে কতটা মিস্টেরিয়াস ছিল। আর এখানটা স্পটটার নামই হচ্ছে মিস্টেরিয়াস স্পট। জানি না ভেতরে কি আছে আমাদের জন্য, দেখি ভেতরে কি আছে আর কতটা মিস্ট্রি আমাদের জন্য ওয়েট করছে। ইউ ওয়ান্ট টু সে সামথিং?
এখানে গাড়িতে সব জায়গায় মিস্ট্রি স্পট লেখা রেখেছে। আর চারিদিকে
তোমার ভয়
জঙ্গলে।
লাগছে না তো?
হ্যাঁ, তুমি আছো বলে ভয় লাগছে না।
ও ওকে।
তো চারিদিকে জঙ্গল, এটা হলো এন্ট্রান্স।
জঙ্গলের মধ্যে জাস্ট এই জায়গাটুকু বানিয়ে রেখেছে এরা, চারিদিকে কিন্তু জঙ্গল, বড় বড় জঙ্গল।
রেস্টুরেন্টও আছে দেখছি।
সব কিছুই এরা সাজিয়ে রেখেছে। রেস্টুরেন্ট রয়েছে, রেস্টরুম রয়েছে, ওপেন এরিয়া রয়েছে, তার সাথে তোমার মিস্ট্রিও রয়েছে।
এই রাস্তাটা দিয়ে যাই তাহলে, যে আমাদের আগে চলে যাচ্ছে কিছু লোক।
একটুখানি ফটো তো তুলতে হবে না? এবার জঙ্গলটা দেখো, কত বড় বড় গাছগুলো।
রেডউড ফরেস্ট।
পুরো একটা জঙ্গলের মধ্যে একটা জাস্ট আইডিয়াল একটা জায়গা বানিয়ে রেখেছে। টাকাও কিন্তু কম নিচ্ছে না এরা। অবশ্য এত ভালো জায়গা একটা বানিয়ে রেখেছে, টাকাটা নেওয়াটা স্বাভাবিক। তো আমাদের এবার মিস্ট্রি স্পটের ট্যুর স্টার্ট হচ্ছে। এই যে মাস্ক পরে বাদিকে যিনি দাঁড়িয়ে আছেন উনি আমাদের ট্যুর গাইড। খুব সুন্দর একটা পনিটেল করেছে। তো এরপর থেকে আমি কিছু কথা বলবো না, এরপর থেকে যা বলবে আমাদের ট্যুর গাইড বলবে। তো চলো আমরা পুরো ট্যুরটা দেখে নিই।
First things first, my name is Jack. I'm going to be a tour guide today. Welcome to the Mystery Spot. How are we all doing?
Good. Thank you.
That's good. Has anybody been here before?
Yeah.
No.
By show of hands, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You guys should know the jokes are going to be a little bit worse. Other than that, we're going to go a little worse. You guys come on in through the door right here. And then for that, we actually recommend having a
আমার কাছে ব্যাটারি আছে।
Now, to make this work, first things first, this place is actually very old. It's a lot older than most people expect. If you look around right here, every tree here wasn't here when we opened. This entire area was clear-cut by a lumber company, and that was back in 1939. And when this area was clear-cut, this lumber company did clear-cut the entire land. All the trees around here are, as a result, about 80 years old or younger, and this is what we call second growth redwood forest. It's a beautiful forest. It's just something fun to point out. When all this area was clear cut, two brothers bought the land. They built themselves a lovely summer home where the gift store is today. And then they built a hunting cabin up on that hillside. Now, when they built the hunting cabin up there, it was originally level. A landslide occurred. The cabin came sliding down the hill. It actually stopped at an angle that it's been at ever since, about 17 to 20 degrees. And this is where things start to get a little bit weird. They had some people doing some tests, and they noticed one weird thing starting right here. If you bring a compass with you today, it sort of misreads a little bit. It goes off by about 5 to 15 degrees throughout this entire area, and that starts right where these blocks are. Now they ended up marking this as a sort of border that goes around 300 feet throughout this hillside. It curves up around the hill behind the cabin, back down this hill right here, and once again, right through here, which means if you're over here, you're inside the mystery spot, and if you're over here, you're outside the mystery spot. Now that's all that there is to this. We start with these two pieces of wood right here, which are meant to be level, and a bubble level right here. I can show you all really quickly. It's not frozen, it's not rigged, it's not locked in place. I'm going to go ahead and take the level, and I'm going to go ahead and put it down right here on this piece of wood. These are just supposed to be two level pieces of wood. The bubble should be in the middle, nothing too fancy about it. And if I flip it around, turn it upside down, move it to the other piece of wood, we should get the same deal. So if I flip it around, still should be a level piece of wood. Even if I move it to the other piece of wood right here, it should be the exact same deal. Did anybody come here today just to see two level pieces of wood? So let's get started. This is going to be an interactive tour. We're going to have some fun with the demonstrations. To make this work properly, we do ask for volunteers throughout the whole tour. And before you get excited, before you raise your hand, before you push your family members up, I want to get two people who know that they're pretty close to the same height. You don't have to be identical to each other. If you're within a few inches, that works totally fine. Do we have any two people in the same group who know they're somewhat close to the same height? Going once. Going twice.
We might. I think we're the same.
Come on up, come on up. Now you both go ahead and stand on the wood like you're sharing skis and facing towards each other. Stand as straight as you can, look as tough as you can. You're inside the mystery spot, and you're outside the mystery spot. That sounds a bit strange. When you enter the mystery spot, you shrink by about 2 inches. Over here, you've already lost that height in theory. What? And over here, you're safe from that effect.
You look super small.
If you switch, you lose the height. You get the height back. We should all be able to see the difference as they're switching places. Before we do that, can we all agree a bit taller on this side?
Yeah.
Go ahead and switch places. Even looking across at each other, you can see quite a bit of difference. Definitely a little bit shorter here. Definitely a little bit taller over here. It's not permanent. It might last up to a day. Do try to keep that in mind. A big round of applause for them both, everybody. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's try this with 2 more victims. If we could, I'd like to get 2 slightly taller people if I could. Doesn't have to be gigantic, but I need 2 more volunteers willing to help out. Going once, going twice. Do you have anybody like 5'10" in the crowd? 5'11"?
We're both like 6 foot.
Come on up, come on up. Let's give it a shot. Even if you're not perfectly the same, we'll see what we can do.
Oh my gosh.
Not really short on this.
The idea here is the taller you are, the more this works. It actually exaggerates the effect. So from the start, definitely a bit taller over here, definitely a bit shorter over here. Just go ahead and switch places one more time. The difference here is going to be a lot more dramatic than what you saw before. And this time you were the shorter one here, and definitely the taller one here. This time it seems like a total of at least 3 or 4 inches between the 2 of you, so this might last up to a week as a result. We keep that in mind. Big round of applause for them. This is only the start of the tour, and this is, by definition, the weakest demonstration. You can lose more height throughout the tour, and by the end of the tour, there is a spot where you lose what looks like an entire foot of height. I do like to joke that if you brought a toddler or a puppy, it might vanish on the tour. That is a joke. No worries on that. One last thing to show you is the lean. This is going to happen throughout the whole tour, but it starts right here. I'm standing outside the mystery spot, straight, tall, normal, boring. Enter the mystery spot. It's really not that noticeable, but you do start to lean over down here. It's only about 1 degree in my case, but in the trees behind me, you can see it a little bit better. So we start with the tree that's outside the mystery spot. This tree grows straight, tall, normal, boring. This tree inside the mystery spot does ever so slightly lean towards the cabin. And then this tree right here on the border has no idea what it's doing with its life. It kind of reminds me of myself, you guys. Now, with that said, nobody was supposed to say, yeah, that was kind of good. Last but not least, we got that Life magazine cover from 1948. You can see 3 people leaning over in that. All of us are going to lean over just like that in about 10 minutes. What's funny about that picture is not the way that they're all leaning. It's that the woman in that picture was named Eileen. That's the best joke of the tour, I'm sorry to say, guys. With that said, I'm going to lock this gate up, trap us all inside. We are going up this hill, take it slow. We're going to meet at the top on the right. Everybody just go ahead and follow me on up.
Banana stud crossing. Oh my god. What's going on your face?
Maybe thought that was easy, try doing it 7 times a day. We're going to have a few fun things to show you inside this courtyard right here. Before we do, I would just like to point out the trees right here. A lot of these trees have their branches growing away from the cabin towards the parking lot out there. And supposedly that is just a natural effect of them growing towards sunlight. However, you'll notice a lot of the saplings here do lean over quite a bit more. We do have a few theories as to why that happens later on in that courtyard. For now, we're just going to make our way inside here. Everybody just go ahead and follow me on inside.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We should play that. Yeah? I don't know, I'm pretty good at that game.
Same deal as before, just try to make space for everyone if we can. All the way over by the handrail here is good. We got a little bit over here. Just want to make sure we're all feeling comfortable. What I'm trying to do is I'm just sort of trying to hide the effect right here. This isn't the lean. The lean happens naturally if you stand straight. Feet together, don't try to lean over, and it just sort of happens on its own. You can look down at your own feet and notice your own feet off to the side. You can see me and see that I'm leaning over, and I can show you 2 quick poses. Number 1, face this way, left hand back, right hand on your hat, lean forward, become Michael Jackson, just like that. Number 2, face this way, look down, see your toes for the first time all day. We call that the weight loss program. For now, we do have the cabin right here. This cabin wasn't built this way. It was built about 30 feet up that hill. It came sliding down, came to a stop right here. And a lot of people assume that that tree stopped the cabin right here. I do need to point out that tree wasn't here when the cabin was built. This guy's about 56 years old. If you compare that to the other redwoods over here, it's not as tall, it's not as wide, it doesn't have as many branches. And we do think that what stopped the cabin here is the mystery spot. Now I do have a demonstration to show you that. I'm going to bring this demonstration out. I'm going to wave it in the air. I want everybody here to go, ooh, and then, ah. And the more dramatic we are, the more I get paid. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is known as the Board of Mystery. Ooh. Ah. And that is just a piece of wood, I'm sorry to say. It's got this groove cut in it, otherwise it's not too mysterious. I'll take this piece of wood, I'll put it down on this table right over here. This next part's a little bit tricky. I'm making eye contact, I'm looking for someone responsible, someone trustworthy, mature. I don't see a lot of you here. Everyone looks looks kind of ready to fight. Kind of ready to fight. Do we have any volunteers for this one? I just need one person to help out. Yeah. Hold on. Let's stand right where the X is, right there. You see that bubble okay? All right. I'm going to go ahead and put this down on the piece of wood. The fact is, I can't be trusted. You can. And you, first off, take a good look at the bubble, make sure it looks all right. And can you tell the crowd where the bubble is?
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Now that would mean that it is pretty much level. Do you think you're trustworthy?
I think so.
Yeah? Everybody look trustworthy enough?
Yeah, sure.
That was a delayed reaction. Thank you very much. Let's give her a big round of applause, everybody. Thank you very much.
Okay.
This is just supposed to be level. That's not the mystery here. The mystery is what happens when you put a ball on a level piece of wood and let go. So I'm going to put the ball on the board. I'm going to let go of the ball.
Oh my.
And it starts to come right back. If I give it a push, it's the exact same deal. Stops, comes right back on out. Everybody. Now could the ball be rigged? Yes, absolutely. There's no doubt. There could be a magnet inside there. There could be a motor inside there. I've had a toddler accuse me of putting a hamster inside of there before. So we are going to try a few other things, starting with my water bottle. Just to start with, this is a water bottle from the gift store, and I'm just going to roll it up the board. Since it's a cylinder, it's not it's not resting inside the groove right there. So if I give it a push, it should just come like that. And then I can try the water itself. I'm going to pour the water as far over as I can. Can't really see what I'm doing, but I'll just assume it's getting in there. It does come right back on out, and it turns into tequila on the way outside. So if you guys would like to know. Other than that, it's just a piece of wood. All this is really supposed to show you is what you're going to feel inside the cabin. What I mean by that is you can tend to feel like you're being pushed around like the ball or like the water, and that is sort of what causes the dizziness. With that said, there's just going to be 2 quick rules for safety inside the cabin. If you're feeling dizzy, feel free to use the handrail. If you're not feeling dizzy, try and save it for somebody who is, just so we're all feeling comfortable. A lot of us won't feel dizzy at all, and I want to make sure we're all feeling good. The first few steps are where the dizziness kicks in. So when you walk in, watch your way in the doorway right there. I'm going to show you how to take pictures in there, and then I'm going to cut you guys loose to give you free time to explore and try it all out. With that said, I'm the tour guide. I'm the one who gets to take the fall risks first. So everybody go ahead and follow me on inside. Watch your first few steps. If you feel like you got it, from there you're good.
I had to wait for it.
You guys are doing really good so far. If you're feeling okay, come on over towards this side of the room. That's all. Take it slow, take it slow. Some people get dizzy, some people don't. Good job, you guys, good job. As more of us are coming inside, I've got space down this way as well. This is all safe to lean against. I'm trying out new shoes today, so we'll see if I follow these. So far, so good. I'm standing on the edge of the table here. You can demonstrate the lean really easily. You can do cool poses. You can be Superman up here like this. You can do Rose from Titanic like this. Be careful. Don't jump off of the table. I have jumped off of the table. I have landed on my face. I used to not look like this. Just trust me on that. Use the steps right here, and you can step down like a staircase. If you're nervous, you can stabilize on the window right here. Kind of just walk on down. It's actually not too bad. There's handrails right there. If you're a little bit nervous about the table, then you can also get the lean using those handrails. So you kind of grab onto those, do a little pull-up. Your feet fly this way. Anyone standing here will be bumped into, so do be careful if you're trying that out, but it does make for a pretty good picture. We're going to show you a few more things in the next room, and then we're going to give you that free time. Have fun. For now, let's just make our way over to the next room.
বেশি দূরে যাবে না, কালো জায়গাটা থাকবে। Yeah. হ্যাঁ, হাতটাকে এরকম করো, আরেকটু আগে এসো, বেশি রিস্ক নেবে। ওটা এখান থেকে মনে হচ্ছে এদিকে
What is this? This is a tool of the microscope. Notice the board. As you can see, it may just look like a plank of wood.
Towards the center of the mystery spot, it does actually get a bit heavier and a bit harder to push. And if you do push it this way, it actually does get noticeably quite a bit lighter and quite a bit easier to push. You should just be careful. This isn't really something you can see too well in pictures, but it is good for if you're feeling a bit skeptic about it. Just don't throw this at someone unless they really deserve it, all right? In that case, that is fine. There's a plank right over there. If you're nervous about the table, again, same deal. It's an easier version of the table. You can stand on that, get the same lean, and simply a much safer way to do it. There's a ladder hiding back there. You can kind of walk up that ladder like it is a staircase with no hands. I do not recommend trying the ladder unless you feel like you've got pretty good balance. It is pretty tricky to pull off. You can sort of walk up it sideways like you're walking up the wall, which makes for an interesting picture. Last but not least, you can do the matrix and the limbo in here pretty easily. Sort of stand awkwardly here, bend back at the waist, do the hand poses if you guys want. Be very careful trying that out. If you don't want to be inside the cabin, her group is going to move on in a little bit, and that's where we're going to move on later on. So if you're feeling dizzy, if you're just done inside the cabin, step outside that way once there's space. They'll be moving on in a little bit. Otherwise, have fun, try out both rooms, take pictures outside the cabin if you'd like. You guys, go for it. Have fun. One more time.
I'll show you.
Thank you. That side really is higher. That side really is lower. That's a little bit weird, but that's not the mystery here. The mystery is if I stand on this side and if I walk this way, what's going to happen? So I'm going to stand on this side of the bench. I'm going to walk this way. Keep in mind, right now I'd be walking uphill. I'm just going to walk from me to that pillar right there. Turn around, walk downhill. Does that look right either time? No. I thought it was just an illusion. I thought it was caused by the roof or by the cabin or something like that. And we've actually come up with a way to try and prove that that's not the case. To make this work, I do need to get the help of two specific people. Someone a bit on the taller side, someone a bit on the shorter side, and we need to make sure that this actually works. You two would actually be perfect for this because you are standing right here and you've got a good height difference. So you two want to help out?
Yes.
Come on. You're going to have the two of you face towards each other, and I would say scooch back a little bit on your side, just a tad.
Y'all are looking at me up here. Let me move towards the edge so I can.
Currently, we have a pretty big height difference going on. Keep in mind, he is on the downhill side, she is on the uphill side. You still see quite a bit of a difference. Can we all agree? A bit taller on this side? Yeah. I'm going to have the two of you switch places in just a second. Before you do, keep in mind this is a lot stronger than the one before. This might last up to about 6 months this time, so do be aware of that. Go for it, guys. And as you're switching places, looking across each other, the difference is already pretty noticeable. You just walked uphill, you shrunk by quite a bit. You walked downhill, you grew by quite a bit. Keep in mind, like I said, it lasts about 6 months, but you actually do look a bit taller, so enjoy that while it lasts. Sorry about that over there. Let's have a big round of applause for the both of you guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, you can step on down. This also works with eye level, so as you stand on this side, just go ahead and face towards the fence this time. We're gonna measure your eye level roughly.
That'd be a $10 tour, though, to be honest. We can go all
Should I be
the
a
way
bit higher than that or a bit lower than that?
Funny story. We got a 1-star review.
For your eye level.
The guy was like, this place
a little bit higher.
A little bit higher?
So yeah, you have very high
Right
expectations.
about there. Go ahead and start walking this way.
All right, if you can come a little closer, I'm not going to block you. So you're looking at this right here, the old wall.
You can see that's a pretty big difference right there.
It is
It might last up to about 6 months like before. No big deals on that. Some big round of applause for you guys. Thank you very much.